What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com. It's been a while. Almost forgot how to do the intro. Welcome back to our weekly Friday YouTube live streams where we have a guest, we answer your questions, and we give you what's relevant today in the app marketing space, along with taking a look at your apps and giving you feedback on your apps when it comes to critical growth, retention, and more importantly, monetization. And we've seen some amazing results, people who have 5x, 12x, 100x their revenues. And I'm super humbled to have you here week in and week out. But today we're going to talk all about iOS 14.5 and the new iOS 15, some of the new features that you should be looking out for. And when I have any development type of questions, I always turn to my friend. You guys know him. He's a friend of the podcast, Chaim from b7dev.com. Chaim, welcome back.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm great, Chaim. So, I really wanted to bring you on because iOS 14.5 is out, some of the impact that it has had on app marketing. But before we talk about some of the app marketing impact, let's talk about some of the cool new features that we as developers should be starting to think about when it comes to iOS 14.5 and then eventually iOS 15.
Yeah, with iOS 15, soon to be released, we will have really big breakthroughs at the API level. I mean, the possibility we have to add to native apps when we develop one. So the biggest one, in my personal opinion, is the sharing feature, when you can share with other groups video, music, like you can do today with the social platforms like YouTube and Facebook, but you can do it from your own app. So you can create your own Zoom style application natively. You don't need to use third parties to integrate third parties such as streaming motors or streaming services, because you can stream from the own app. Okay, this is brand new and it's about to be released really soon. The second thing that I consider more important is the possibility to configure when you want to receive alerts from all kind of apps. Today you have all kind of apps, messaging, etc., that will bother you, will make you lose focus on what you are doing. So from this iOS 15, you can set the time or the time frame, the time window that you are allowed to receive notifications from the apps. Okay, this is really great for your privacy, for peace of mind. You can be more productive without receiving all the time those little pokes, notifications, alerts, etc., etc. It's really great. Another thing that is excellent for augmented reality developers is the new kit, the kit number 2, also new materials. Okay, for augmented reality, new textures, for 3D elements that you will add. Really an excellent advance for this kind of augmented reality applications. Another thing, we will have more friendly elements for Swift when you develop a native application with Swift. We will have improved UI elements. This is for UI designers, very important. Okay, more dynamic and more powerful elements. This is a caveat, is with Swift and not with Objective-C. Okay, with Swift only. Another very interesting thing is that hardware manufacturers, device manufacturers, they can start to interact with your phone, with your iPhone, in a more native way from the app, with these nearby objects, new libraries for the API. And I don't forget anything. Yeah, also you can track the AirPods, the GPS trackers that you can glue to anyone or anything. Okay, will be better implemented on this new release of the operating system. Another thing that is more complicated, though, is not so, I mean, it's not everything good news for everyone. This is not a bad news, but it's more like something that you need to work on, is the privacy level, the privacy management. Apple is, in the last time, is working a lot on enhancing the control that we as users have on the privacy level, on the information that the applications gather about the usage, our localization, etc., etc. So they are requiring, very shortly, they will be requiring for you to inform your users about that you are about to collect information from them, gather feedback. I mean, feedback like data that you don't usually are aware of. Okay, and you need to prompt a message that is called ATT. Okay, and asking the user here I have the text here. Sorry, so you should prompt an ATT. This is called ATT that says, do you allow this application to track your activity across other companies' apps and websites? And if you accept, they will track. If you don't accept that, they won't be able to track. Now, this is very important because if you are gathering information and sharing with other companies, your app could be banned from the Apple Store, because if you don't implement this prompt for the users to know that you are actively tracking them or gathering information, they can remove your app from the Apple Store. Okay, so this is something that you need to pay close attention if you are working with some kind of information gathering, cookies, whatever it is. Okay, the new policy is called the IDFA. Okay, and the IDFA policy says that you need to even the IDFA is a unique identifier for every company that is gathering information, and you need to tell your users what company is gathering this information. Actually, right now, about 70% of the people are not filtering this requirement. I mean, 70% of the people are just being tracked willingly or unwillingly. They suppose that if you report every time that some app or website is tracking you, this percentage of people willing to be tracked will be low, as much as 15%. Okay, so it's a big problem for big companies, Facebook, Google, at the networks, etc. What will happen is that if you say no, it's not that you won't be getting any ads, but the ads won't be so much related to you, the country, the location, your tastes, the 1,000 parameters they track usually. Okay, so this is something that is annoying the big players in the industry, but Apple in this time is playing more at benefiting the final user about privacy. It's a world movement about keeping your privacy private. Okay, up to now it was like the Wild West. You don't know what you are being tracking of, and there are lists of parameters that they can know about you, about what you do, what you see, what the websites you visit, how much steps you do or you make in the same day, etc., about more than 1,000 parameters. The ones that they are watching this and they know the advertisement networks, they know the list very well.
Yeah. I know one of the things that I always like to tell users, and we got some questions, so thank you guys for joining. I didn't kind of like make notice. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, but the way to get featured by Apple is starting to incorporate some of the newest technology that Apple is putting out there. And so are there any ones that you see beyond like having widgets, super important? I think widgets are going to be super important in the future, but are there any features that are coming in iOS 15 that you feel like app developers should start incorporating, because if they want to get featured, this is an easy way to do so?
Yeah, SharePlay is an excellent feature. I mean, it's very powerful. When the pandemic, we saw everyone jumping to work remotely with the video chats, with the sharing features. this is a good time to jump on with SharePlay. Yet we have to see what the API in the first version allows, okay? But you can share also to multiple Apple platforms, not just to iPhone, but also to Mac computers. I mean, it's a very, very, very powerful tool for developing apps and for being promoted in this way.
So SharePlay, like beyond like being able, I'm assuming, Chaim, you know much more than I do about this, but I'm assuming it's like, hey, if I have a media type of app, let's say it's Hulu or Apple TV, and I want to SharePlay it, that means like I'm sharing what I'm watching with others. Is that what SharePlay is all about?
Streaming, and also it seems that you will be able to do conference rooms with other people. I mean, conference room like like Zoom, like Google Meet. It's a global tendency that you can do, and then you can do collaborative environments for. I mean, about the utility tools for fun. Yeah, you can share. You can do a live. We are auditing apps. They can audit movies, or they can audit video, musical videos for giving ratings. It's like in real time. Is really interesting. You can share music and then receiving feedback. You can. I mean, everything that you can do today with YouTube when you are streaming and you are receiving feedback, or Facebook Live. In this way, you can do it with your own app. You don't need to depend on Facebook, on YouTube. You can do it natively with an iOS app.
I'm thinking like beyond just like media, movie type of apps, maybe even fitness apps. So feel free to disagree with me, but like maybe fitness apps work out together possibly, or though, where do you see beyond like just normal movie streaming type of apps? What other types of apps could utilize SharePlay?
It's very interesting what you said, because again, with this pandemic and the gyms in the first stages were closed, a lot of people resorted to. I mean, there was a boom of fitness applications on the stores, okay, and I think that they are here to stay. Also, yoga classes, painting classes, everything that could be teach from home. And then you can do, I don't know, the discussions, meditation. You can teach how to paint, how to I don't know, to do all kind of arts from home, and you can receive real feedback. The remote teaching I mean, it's another discussion. It's a very long discussion, because I always thought that there is no environment, there is no framework that works perfect for remote education. We are in the first stages of remote education. The environment is not set, it's not right yet. I mean, Zoom is not the same as be present, and remote teaching is not the same, because it's not because of the technology, it's because of the interface, the way of teaching. And I think that this way of remote teaching is just in the diapers, and we will see a lot of improvement. I mean, the technology, the video streaming, the quality is already there. Like 15 years ago, I used to work a lot with video, and the video was really poor. I used to work a lot with flash video, and the quality was really poor. Today, we have excellent quality, excellent bandwidth. The problem is that we still are thinking like the traditional way, a classboard and the teacher in front, the pupils or the people studying, listening to I mean, the graphical way, the interaction is not there yet for the people to fully enjoy the experience. But I convinced that really soon it will be. I mean, we will see a lot of improvement. There's a lot for 1,000 times more improvement based on the current technology, other than Zoom or Meet, something very flat 2D teaching. I think that is a very promising field, and Apple knows that. Because of this, is starting with this kind of API improvement with the SharePlay.
Okay, I want to say hi to a few people. Joe, what's happening, man? It's been a while. Good to see you. And then Andy, oh, I like this new interface from Livestream. Andy says, good morning. How's it going, Andy? Kalyani, good to see you. I want to start with Rudy's question. I think he's got a really good question, and Kalyani does too. Should we only do, Kalyani asked, should we only do ATT, so that's app tracking transparency, only if we are using users IDFA, or should we also do ATT if we're using app analytics like Firebase Analytics?
Well, what you should do first is to update to the latest SDK. The SDK and the release notes, they should bring the information if you need to apply this ATT, okay? Because what everyone is recommending is, first of all, upgrading the SDKs. The Facebook SDK and the Firebase SDK, etc. They bring the release notes for this, okay? So I don't know the specific cases because they are still working on that, but I think that it's worth taking the time to check with every website. But I think that for most of them, they will ask you to show the ATT.
I mean, it does say like you must use ATT framework if your app collects data and end users and shares it with other companies. So this brings on to Rudy's point, and I'd love to get your insights on this.
In the case of Firebase, if you use it for your own analytics, I don't think that will be necessary.
Okay, good to know. And then Rudy says, what's happening, Rudy? So he says hi first, and then good evening, Rudy. If I don't care about targeted ads, is it okay to ignore tracking requests and then he's just using AdMob at the moment?
Yeah, the problem is that if you don't report that, you are risking, AdMob is collecting data for other companies, I guess, and then you risk to be banned from the App Store. Okay, so you need to. I mean, you can show it every time as far as you show the ATT before the actual tracking. Okay, this is something that is about to be discovered soon. What are the specifics about this? So far, the information is kind of very, very broad and very vague, and then we will know more further. But we need to be prepared for this, for showing the ATT.
It almost feels like it's just best practice to show it. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it almost seems like
basically the worst thing you can experiment is to be rejected from the Apple Store, and then they will say to you, you should apply an ATT, and then you will display it. The problem for several free apps is that if the people say no, they don't accept that, they will be losing a lot of revenue for not being able to collect data. So in this case, you need to start thinking out of the box to entice or tease your user to accept this.
I don't know if this is the case, Chaim, but I was just thinking about this. So I stopped drinking in the beginning of 2020, January 1st. I stopped and I clicked on some ads. So on Instagram, I see all these ads for non-alcoholic drinks. So I'll have a non-alcoholic beer and wine. So anything that has alcohol free, I'll still drink it. And so I see all these ads. And once I clicked on one, I was like, that's all my Instagram feed is all non-alcoholic. And I'm like, dang, I didn't know there's so many different brands of alcohol that's alcohol free. Like, so I wonder if that is ATT involved in that, like maybe it's not app related, but if you are trying to get people like lookalike audiences, it's almost, do you think that's important for lookalike audiences and things like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the people is not aware of the hundreds and hundreds of parameters that they are being tracked every day. What they browse, what they visit, what their friends visit is not just you. Is they build a relationship tree of what all your relatives or the people you interact the most, because they are trying to. It's like guessing on a black box. It's like building your profile based on what you do and what your relatives or the people you interact with do. If you cancel one of those parameters, the algorithm changes, and then it won't show alcoholic beverages ads. Maybe someone that invited you to like some page, he's liking that, and they are just trying. you never know how you got those ads from.
Yeah,
You're reading on the internet all the time that the people is claiming that the phone is listening what they say through the microphone. Because I was mentioning this to my wife the last week, and then after that I opened my Facebook and I got a ad about, I don't know, vacations on Hawaii, for example.
yeah,
So I mean, I never looked after vacations on Hawaii, but maybe some relative of you, someone at the family, or some friend of you was browsing for that, and then relate that maybe you are interested too, because he told you I'm going to Hawaii, and then
sure.
you want to go too. Um, Again, those formulas, are kind of secret
Let's move
for
to
the company.
this. Andy asked, do you recommend expanding into the Android market given the legal issues they're going through, or just hold off until things settle down?
I will, depending on the app, depending on the market, depending on the niche, Android is always a valid option. I will think more about. I mean, they are a big company. It's not something that they won't solve in the near future. They will solve it very fast because otherwise they are losing a lot of money. So I will go for Android, but based on a different criteria. Is the app that I'm doing, or the apps that I'm doing, a fit for Android users? Android users and iPhone users are kind of cataloged in a different light. So I will think about that first, not about the problems that I mean, Google Play won't be closing soon, and they don't. It won't. I mean, it's very dynamic. I don't think that those problems are very big for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Andy, if your app is a fit for Android, definitely build for it. I do think that Android's starting to catch up. That's what I've heard from other developers from a monetization perspective for a certain category of apps. It's just not there sometimes, but I think it is starting to catch up too. So if you think it's a good fit, the Android market, your particular type of app, go ahead and develop for it. Google will be just fine. They're a huge company. Romain, how's it going? Or Roman. And then Kalyani says, thanks, Simon. I'll check Firebase documentation. Okay, cool. And then Rudy says, hey, let me rephrase. I want my app to serve ads if the user answered no to the ATT prop. Google says in the documentation, if you decide, I don't know, maybe should we start to able to use? It got
Yeah.
cut off, Rudy. So let me know.
Yeah. Google says you are referring to Android because we are talking about iPhone. I mean, we are talking about here about Apple. I
Well,
will
his
check the.
app is Apple, but he's using AdMob. So that's why he's referring to Google, because he uses AdMob.
Okay. It's not that the Google says, it's what Apple says. Apple is ruling this ATT more than Google. Google is the in the other side of the street. They are gathering data, so they are very interested on people accepting that. They won't tell you, don't put the ATT, or I mean, it's a different place where to search for answers. I will search for answers at Apple and not at Google, because Google is interested on doing something different than Apple's.
Okay. I'm good you're here, because I'll be like, I don't know. So I'm glad. That's why I'm always like, let's
Yeah,
have a guess,
this is
because I'm not going to
this
know
is very
everything.
yeah, this is very recent, very green. I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
We are searching for specific information all the day, but basically this is what Apple says. So they are ruling and they are rejecting your app, not Google. So I will base on what Apple says and not what Google says, because it's a different master.
Right. I agree. Okay. Let me do this, Chaim. I forgot my bell. So I'm going to find a bell. But let's go into our favorite segment, my favorite segment of the show. I'm sure you guys missed this as well. Let's go into the dad jokes, and we're going to take a look at your apps. And so if you guys want us to take a look at your app, and we've seen some good results, Rudy, thank you for emailing me. He's seen some really great results too. Just go to appmasters.com/audit, appmasters.com/audit. There you'll find all to get listed on this. We do have a pretty the list is getting smaller, but we do have a list of people in the queue, and we'll get to your app as soon as we possibly can. But Chaim, let's start it off. Do you want to start off first? I'll let you kind of pick.
Okay, it's a very naive joke, if you allow me. you know. I was with all this problem with the COVID. I was hesitant about getting the vaccine, but in the end, I thought that it's worth the shot.
Oh, I like it. Let's see if this works. Okay, that's a bad bell. All right. All right.
I
I'll
know
try to
it.
find a better bell.
I don't know why you always get the great bells and I the bad reviews. I don't know why. Maybe because you run the show, but it's just a
I
suggestion.
like having a bell because it's like, you know, and I don't have that. But okay, I got my joke is, and I don't have this up as all. I like this one. Let me find it real quick. All right. I'll start with the weaker one. And then again, guys, if you think Chaim's joke is better than mine, put C and put S for me. And then Chaim and I will play for a non-alcoholic beer. You can have an alcohol if you want it. But all right, Chaim, what does Matthew McConaughey, the actor Matthew McConaughey, what does Matthew McConaughey say when he's picking fruit? All right, all right, all right. All right. That is.
That's better than mine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I gotta always have my bell with me. All right, guys, let's get into the first app that you have. Once again, if you guys want us to take a look at your app, it is once again appmasters.com/audit, appmasters.com/audit. And I will bring up this first app that we have. This is from Ricardo. So he's got a movies app. I love movies. I love rom-coms in particular. Always wanted to do a podcast just on rom-coms. But he says the first view includes the latest movies and TV series. Clicking on the movie series will get you into the info, discover. So it's more about like news and discovery about new movies and shows. So we'll take a look at the app because he doesn't really put in too much info about what he wants us to take a look at. But anything you want to point out from an App Store perspective, Chaim?
I want to see the app because you sent me the link, and then I don't understand what I need to do from the start. Maybe he has a tutorial. I mean, it's nice that you are putting the settings and etc. But I don't basically understand whether I will get movies from here. Or I will get the reviews here. So maybe something more didactic from the start. I will put.
Okay.
That is my.
Yeah, I think that's my main feedback too. From the App Store presence, Ricardo, I have no idea what your app does because you say news in your pocket, but it says my movie. So like, what does it really, what the app does? It's very unclear to me if I'm just looking at that. By having news in your pocket, it's kind of like, wait, is it a news app or is it a movies app? Because I can see my movies. So let's take a look at the app. I think you need a lot of work on your title and your subtitle and your screenshots.
Also the icon seems like distorted to me.
Yeah, it does. It does. Let's get into the app itself. Do I have anything? Okay, cool. I don't have anything here. Okay, here we go. My movie. Don't judge me with all the apps that I have. This is my spare phone that I put every on. All right. Again, this is just best practice. Don't ask for a notification default prompt. Double opt in. Like, hey, we'd love to send you news on the latest movies and shows. Would you like to opt in? Yes. And then show this because I'll usually I put don't allow. Maybe with the new focus feature, I'll start allowing it. But for now, all right. First step. Do you want to start off with anything, Chaim?
No. Maybe it's what I was meaning at the beginning. Maybe he has here a tutorial. I didn't install the app, but that will be great for starting. So
yeah, it's like, somebody in the audience, Bart, he came back to him, he listened. He's like, hey, Steve, I listened to your feedback. Just adding a couple of onboarding screens helped increase his conversions by, I forget what the percentage is, but definitely regurgitate what the app does. Welcome. Let's start with a few steps. It doesn't tell me anything about the app.
Yeah, maybe this animation could be more related to movies.
Yeah. What is your main feature? Tell us about it. Okay, what kind of movie do you like? I love adventure. I love comedy. And reality, soap, romance. There you go. Those are my primary ones. Oy, comedy.
You are romantic.
Yes, sir. I am. Reality. I like reality shows. Sure. It's thriller. All right, cool. Trending. Black Widow. Okay, so it is like kind of like, hey, here's I think I'm always looking for like what's popular, what to watch over the weekend. So this is good for me. Okay, it's interesting. I thought I put that on TV. Okay. Any feedback that you have so far?
I need to see the detail of every movie.
Yeah, you want to see the detail? Okay, let's go into Black Widow.
Yeah.
Beautiful design. I like it.
No, the design is very, very neat. That's right. So can I leave some feedback or just the rating?
Yeah, go for it. That's what
No. I mean, if it's possible at the app.
Oh, you don't know if I could leave feedback. If I could rate the review, rate the app.
Rotten Tomatoes or something like this.
So it says mark as favorite. That's what I can do. Add to your watch list. Yeah, I like. What is this play button? Am I able to watch a movie?
It should be the teaser.
Let's see.
Yeah, maybe because the sharing is with a problem with the overlay. Because you are recording the screen, maybe.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like, what? Okay, now that I'm here, what do you want me to do? This play button. This could be. I'm probably right with the trailer, but it doesn't look like it's working. Let's try this one. See if that one works.
I think that you have a problem with the overlay, with the video overlay, because you are sharing it. It's just, I mean, the app is okay, but the app should be okay. No, but okay, what I do next? I see the movie, I can rate it, I can favorite it, and then what?
Yeah, I don't know what the app does.
What is the business model? I mean, what is the revenue model here?
And I can't get back. I'm stuck just watching whatever this part is. I can't get back to anything, which is annoying. I'm gonna have to exit. So exit every app that I have. And then, yeah, I agree with Chaim. It's what's the point of this? I have no idea. This play, it's not working for me. I think it's just not working, period. I don't think it has anything to do the streaming as much.
No, the problem is that it overlaps the lower bar, the menu bar. Okay, so maybe with the menu bar, we can go back.
Yeah, I have another app that I use called Just Watch. And then it's like, if these seem to be the most important things, but you're hiding it, like rate it, mark as favorite, add to watch list. Those are probably the types of actions I want to take within your app versus all this information. You're not making it actionable, Ricardo. You're hiding it in these little 3 dots up front and then doing that. Whereas I think these are mostly things that people want to do when they come to the movie listing. So make those actions more prominent somewhere here. It's beautiful design, but you don't have the actions here as well.
Yeah, maybe needs to work on the navigation mostly. I have a better app for this, for picking movies, that is called My Wife. She decides what we are watching.
I like it. All right, Chaim. Let's get into the next question. So good job on the design, Ricardo. You got a lot. I think you have a long ways to go, and you got to figure out what your monetization is going to be. Okay, we've got a question here. Roman asks, Chaim, how do you do attribution to pass parameters via iOS to app? And why are things getting cut off here? But I'm assuming to the app, from iOS install to maybe the app marketing. But how do you do attribution?
I don't understand the question. Attribution.
I don't understand the question too, Roman.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to answer it the best I can. But I think what I've heard from others is, and we've been talking to Just right now, I think most things are getting passed back. So whether you have ATT incorporated and all that and asking for yes, most of the app installs from Apple's passing them back, the installs, to Facebook and to all the attribution networks, but they might not be giving all the details the granular details that you may want. And so I think regardless of whether you're using ATT, regardless of if the user says yes or no, Apple is passing it back. It only makes sense, the install. And so Facebook should be getting the right type of data, and your attribution network should be getting the right type of data as well. I think that's what they're doing. But if you want to attribute anything, like Facebook, Google, even Apple, they're sans. So meaning that they're self-attributing. They're going to try, you have to have the SDKs, and that's how they're attributing. Or if you want, and Chaim, I'll give you your time, but or if you want to have a mobile measurement partner such as Adjust and AppsFlyer to sort of incorporate and have a dashboard of all your different marketing channels into one. And so you want that if you want more granular detail. All right, Chaim, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, attribution is always a kind of gray zone when it's not always 100% exact. So maybe you can use another mechanism of tracking some other parameters that you can add custom with, I don't know, Firebase or any other analytics package to better. I mean, it's always something that you need to cross data to get a more exact picture. So, I mean, I need a specific scenario here, what we are trying to track from iOS to, okay, you have a lot of approaches to do this. I will need something more specific. The question was.
Okay, and then it looks like Ram answered Rudy's question. Ram just said, Rudy, if you don't use the ATT prompt from iOS 14 onwards, it defaults to no. So that's what happens. All right, Rudy. So that way
you cannot track most of the parameters.
Yeah, and then Ram, I think Rudy, I'm assuming that you can actually do the, what's the thing I'm looking for? You can still serve your ads to AdMob without finding it. Okay, and then Roman says, Firebase requests this special permission. Okay, I don't know. Sorry, Roman. But Chaim, looks like you won that one according to one vote. All right, Alex. So 1-0 to you, Chaim.
Surprise.
Okay. The other thing that I want to get to is Andy's got a question for you. He's actually, I don't know if you know Andy, but quick question for Chaim. I'm going to be using B7 Dev for my app development and programming. What do you guys need? So what do you guys need to usually get started?
Contact me, and first of all, we need to check what you are trying to do. And if it's possible usually it's possible to be done, we will be giving you the details. Contact me, and we will start from there. It's not that hard to contact me. I'm very approachable, at least remotely.
The other thing I will say, Andy, I don't know if you saw the YouTube series that Chaim and I did, but essentially we talked about like all the things that you need to do. And so it's like app idea to start up. So check out that YouTube series that Chaim did, and it'll go through all the details that you probably want to get done before like Chaim can really start coding. All right. Rajit's here. Good to see you, Rajit. Let me see if there's any other questions. I've been talking a lot, so my voice is gone. I guess in Hawaii, I didn't talk that much. All right. Some people are having hard time finding the app, and I don't think it's out anymore because from what I can see, if you look at my phone, the icon's gone for some reason. So it's kind of weird. One? For MyMovie, Joe said he's having a hard time finding.
Yeah, there's a problem there with the icon. Maybe he needs to put a new icon. I mean, at least non-distorted picture. I think that is because of that. Okay.
And then Roman says dynamic link of Firebase to pass parameters request this iOS special access like advertising. So what was your earlier question? Hey, Roman, if you can do me a favor and just put it all into one comment, that might make it easier for us to try to answer your question. All right. Hi, I'm ready to get to our next app. Let me pull it up. Let's do it, and then we'll go off. Since I lost the last round, I'll start off this round of jokes.
No, hold on. You just got one vote that I won. Is that enough?
That's enough for me. Come on, guys, put more votes.
With another joke, we can be. I mean, it's the best of three.
One's better than zero, right? Okay. Here's my joke, Chaim. What do you call a teacher who silently farts in the classroom? A private tutor. Ding! I'm just gonna do the sound effect. All right, Chaim, what's your joke?
A young couple was formed at the gym, doing some training, but in the end, it didn't work out.
That's a good one. I like that. You're all puns today. All puns. All right, let's take a look at. So again, whoops. I muted you
Yeah.
on accident.
No
Again,
problem.
guys, if you just vote in the comments, it's just for fun. Come on. It's gonna take you 2 seconds. I'd like to get the interaction. All right, let's take a look at this next app. It says the app's UI and different modes feature. Okay, Yusuf, I got you. So it looks like a music player app on Android. When I was looking at it's got okay downloads, so it's been updated recently. All right, cool. You might want to pick a better thumbnail than this, but all right, let's figure this out.
Something,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I notice is that English is not my mother tongue, but I think that the modes should be different speeds when I was checking or different pitches when I was checking this app, because different modes sounds like I don't know, something different for me at least.
I agree. I don't know what different modes mean. Slow version. Different. Is it like speed? Is it, explain what the modes mean versus just calling it modes? Is this a big thing for Android? I'm just curious because I see a lot of Android music players. Let's take a look at the app because that's what their main feedback wants. So I'll look at
for kids, they are playing with the speed, like the WhatsApp. When you hear now you listen to messages that you play with the speed, it's like a fade.
Yeah, guess so. I know I listen to my podcast a little bit faster and audiobooks a little bit faster. All right, welcome to Swiftmusic, a beautiful and fully customizable music player. That's what we meant, Ricardo, when you had your first screen, be like, hey, we just need a few things to get started. Something like this, where Swiftmusic, I think the text is kind of small, Swiftmusic. It's just very hard to read. And even on this, it's pretty hard to read. Okay, now it's getting good looking. Playing cue, swipe the card up. Okay, nice. And then playing cue again. You might want to come up with a different name than playing cue. Rearrange the cue. So just call it rearrange rather than calling it playing cue. Allow. So I guess on Android, people are like maybe doing the Napster days, downloading the music and then having it. And that's what this app looks like it's doing. It's allowing me to listen to music on my phone.
A nice feature that this app has is that you can create playlists and not just play music with different speed. You can also create playlists.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put that as a feature, not just playing with the speed.
Yeah. I think if I don't have any music, again, this is my spare phone, it seems empty. And so maybe I wouldn't have this app if it was empty. But again, I don't know what your business model is. If you're trying to make money off of ads, then at least show some ads. But right now it's super empty for me. And so it said the app's UI and different modes feature. Unfortunately, I don't have any songs on my phone to play the different modes feature.
The video at the Google Play was showing the different speeds. If you want to show that.
Okay, let's take a look. Maybe that's better.
Yeah. The frog one, yeah.
Can you hear that, Chaim?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear it. No. Make it louder.
It's just different speeds. That's what it looks like. I think it's interesting, but I don't know how people care that much from a music perspective if they want to play with that. I think it's more important when you're listening to podcasts or YouTube videos. I actually play on 2-speed as well, especially if it's YouTube videos of myself and the audiobooks. So that's interesting. But instead of calling it different modes, call it like playback speeds is probably more specific to what you're doing.
And then also, again, he's doing a good job with the playlists. So maybe playlist is something that he should remark at the keywords. I
feel like I'm expecting every music player, Chaim, frankly, to have a playlist feature. So I don't know. That's why the playback seems more interesting to me. But like, if you don't have a playlist, bro, like what kind of music app are you? So that's the way I feel about it. All right, Chaim, ready to get the scores? Oh, Kalyani gives you the vote. Alex gives me the vote. And then Joe. 1-1. We've got it tied up. That's what we like to see. All right, Roman asks, okay, he's kind of put it all together. What's the best way to pass parameters via install link to the iOS app like refer ID, invite ID, etc. Current dynamic links of Firebase does not support it with iOS 14 update. What to do? So I have no idea. This is all you.
It's something that we need. I mean, contact me by email and we will discuss about this in a more orderly way. I think that the podcast is not something to send the technical parameters here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Roman. So apologies for that. Let Chaim know, and then he'll let you kind of figure this out. Chaim, there's a good question from Andy as well. He says, he was talking about working with you. He's like, also if he needs continuous development as his app devolves, how does that work with the company? Is it just like new features, like coming back to you and be like, hey, Chaim, I want to build this new feature, and then you're speccing it out again and giving a new quote? Is that how it works?
Yeah, in fact, we have several customers. I mean, most of the customers, after they do the first version, they want new features, I don't know. Now I want the Android version. Now I want the iPhone version. Now I want this feature. So we quote it, and then if that is okay, we proceed to develop that, and we even upload to the store if you don't know how to, etc. Yeah, we support a lot of customers. We upgrade their apps. We rescue apps. This is very important. If you have an app that you feel stuck in the development process, you are not going anywhere, or you got a lot of delays, a lot of problems, we rescue usually a lot of apps. We fix things that maybe another developer cannot fix. We specialize on this. Of course, that first of all, we evaluate the status, the code, etc., and we will give you our realistic expectation about this. Okay, we don't promise things that we cannot accomplish. We need to check what you need to do, and then we quote it and we move it from there.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely sent clients to Chaim's way where we want to build a new feature, and we're like, hey, can you build this feature? Kind of talk to Chaim about it, and Chaim gives him a quote.
We do it all the time, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Chaim. So last round, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? Yes.
You go.
I go first. All right.
I'm checking mine.
People like fart jokes, so I got to try to find more fart jokes. I think that's the better one. My best one. I'm trying to win this, all right, Chaim. So I'm trying to find a really good one.
I will start. I wanted to sing a song with my daughter, but sadly she won't do it.
Oh, I like it. She wouldn't do that. Yeah, I like it.
Improving.
I like it. Improving. Okay.
The thing is improving.
All right, Chaim. How does an engineer make his bed? How does an engineer make his bed?
No idea.
He uses spreadsheets.
No. That was not fair.
No.
The last one was not fair.
Why? What do you mean it's not fair?
I have another one if you want to.
Go for it.
Okay. Why did I'm reading, okay? I'm not just doing it. So you read, I read. And how did the programmer apply for the job as a plastic surgeon?
Huh.
No, why did the programmer apply for the job as a plastic surgeon?
Okay. Why?
He heard they need help with the back-end development. Hey, it's a development show.
See, I had to throw in a programmer joke. All right, guys, put it in the comments. Hey, pick Chaim's favorite, which development joke you like the best, and then that will decide who buys beers. All right, we actually took a look at this app back in, I forget when, but before, and we're taking a look at the app itself. So I won't look at the app as much because we gave you feedback on the app already a few years ago, and Jagar was his name, but he wants feedback on the keywords. So I'll focus on the keywords this time, and then you can go back, Jagar, on the other app audit itself. So it's a office hours app, which means it helps you exercise at work, kind of like stretch out, kind of like loosen up. I find that I'm always trying to stand at work. Knees are starting to hurt. I'm getting old, man. My knees are starting to hurt afterwards. And I'm like, I got to sit down. And so I like the idea, but anything that stands out to you right off the front?
No, I love the idea. We were talking earlier about the explosion of apps for fitness, and this is a
Yeah.
great idea because you are usually all the time seated. All the developers around know that the the the, the lack of exercise is a big problem for us, not from us, for us. So yeah, I try to exercise as much as possible, and this is a great idea. This is a great idea.
Yeah. So it's got good reviews, 133 in the US, 5 stars. I don't like the name so much. So from an ASO perspective, I wanted to focus more on the keywords. I put all the keywords that the Jagar had in his app title, subtitle, and yeah, so I was, because I can't see these keywords, but what I noticed was Jagar, like there's no traffic for any of your keywords. So office hours means something else to me, like, getting help.
It's not related.
So it's not a good name. Like desk exercise, which you have, not a good name. There's no traffic whatsoever for any of the keywords in the most critical areas of the App Store, your title and your subtitle. So you really want to try to find new keywords. And here's how I was able to find some new keywords. So I put in exercise just because it was kind of hard for me to figure out. But I know this app, Wakeout, it's been featured by Apple a few times. And I'm in this tool called AppFollow, appfollow.io. And I just went into keyword live tracking and I exercise and I want to see what comes up. And I was like, oh yeah, Wakeout. It's, if you guys are familiar with it, it's like right when you wake up, what are some key exercises that you can do? So I was like, okay, that's great. They probably have done a good job. But I also found this one, stand up, the work break timer. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what you're trying to do, Jagar. And so I started thinking through like, okay, they must be doing well because they're ranking number 3 for Wakeout. So I click on their app, and what you can do is do keyword spy. And this keyword spy, if you can follow my content for a little bit, is sort of AppFollow doing Apple search ads recommendations. So it's a great way. I use this tool all the time to find different keywords. And this might be interesting. WeWork, right? So you might think around like, all right, where are places where other keywords that my audience might be searching for that makes sense for me? So I like WeWork because it's a co-working place. It means working. So we work on demand, but I think stretching is huge for you because that's what, let's face it, we're not going to be doing burpees in our work outfit, right? But we are going to be doing a lot of stretches and stuff. And so I think that's a better keyword, stretching, and has way better search volume. And so stretch right here, wake out, decent posture, stand up. So these are now better keywords, workout reminder, break time, way better keywords for you and decent traffic versus what you currently using Jagar with absolutely no traffic here. And so that's how I start figuring out what kind of keywords, because the the type of category you're going after is a little bit different than just plain workout or a HIIT or calisthenics, other workouts too. So
I will also look for specific problems with the back problems, because for the people that time sit, the back problems are a very common phenomenon. So maybe that is a creative way to,
a great idea. So that's how I do it then. If I'm looking for back, I go back massager.
Back pain, what?
Okay, so let's do back pain. So let's do back pain, and I'll just do that. I do back just to see what other back pain exercises, back pain yoga. This is interesting now. And then what I'm doing, Chaim, is I'm trying to find, oh, interesting. Okay, there's not that many. So the number 1 app for back pain is only 49 reviews. That means it's pretty, like maybe there's not.
Great with this. Again, stretching.
Not as competitive, likely, of a keyword. Back pain, okay, well, it has no traffic either. I'm sorry. But this other thing, but doing that will give you back pain, just in general, doctor, trainer, back doctor, so neck, stretches. So these are all workouts or keywords that you can go after that have a bit more traffic than the ones you're going after. All right, that's how you do it. Okay. Joe says, an awful lot of 5-star reviews for this app at the end of March. Well, Joe, I thought the same thing, but you said it. All right, my friend. And then Kalyani said, hope that they're not paid. Otherwise, expect to get delisted from App Store. Be careful with the App Store reviews because you guys are here. I'm going to mention this at the end. Be careful with the App Store reviews. If you guys are buying App Store reviews, Apple is cracking down on it. A few people have gotten emails from Apple saying, don't do this anymore. So Apple's pretty kind. And I haven't heard of anybody getting delisted, Kalyani, but be careful when you're doing it. All right. Chaim, anything you want to cover that we might have missed before we say goodbye?
No, he's not about it.
I'm super excited about iOS 15. I'm going to do the beta. I haven't done the beta, but I'm going to go do the beta after this particular call. But guys, I'm back. I was in Hawaii for the last 10 days, so I missed the last 2 weeks of YouTube Live. And so thank you. I didn't tell anybody that we're going back live and today. So thank you. I'm grateful for the people that did show up. But next week, we'll be back every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And I'm rounding up the guests, so I don't know exactly who's going to be. But what we're going to do is pretty much the same thing that you've seen. And if you guys want us to take a look at your app, just fill out the form at masters.com/audit. And if we have audited your app and you've seen some results, do me a favor, email me. Even if you didn't see good results, email me because I want to know the good and the bad as well. And if you want to work with Chaim and his team to develop your app, it is the app development firm that I use and trust. It is b7dev.com, b7dev.com. And Chaim, if the audience wants to connect with you in any other way, do you want to send them anywhere else?
You can send me an email to Chaim, Chaim, at B, the letter B from banana, 7, the number 7, dev like in development.com, or you can search for my profile. Some people is searching for my profile at LinkedIn. You can search for my name in Facebook. The easiest way to contact me is going to my website, b7dev.com. You have a form to contact me. I usually, out of weekends, on weekdays, I answer really fast. So we'll be in touch very soon.
Awesome. The website, once again, is b7dev.com, and I'll pull it up right here. So Chaim and his team, super affordable. They'll help you, as you guys notice already. They'll help you along the whole development process. And like Andy, as your app evolves, they're going to help you along that way and not just like pigeonhole you for all that. All right. Joe, thank you for showing up. It's good to see you. Kalyani, thank you. I will see you guys next Friday. There was one more thing that I was going to say. Totally. Oh, yeah. Last thing is there's a YouTube series that's going to come out starting Tuesday. So Tuesday, new videos. I've recorded a bunch now. New videos. It's all about Apple search ads. I do believe that from a down funnel perspective, it is one of the best ad platforms because search intent is the best intent. Facebook, probably great for scale, but search ads, we've seen some amazing results from a cost per acquisition perspective and also the down funnel from a conversion, retention, all those metrics, those key KPIs. They've been great too. So look out for it on Tuesday. It's going to be a YouTube series. I've been liking doing that. So it's going to be a 3-part series that tells you exactly how to structure your campaigns and how to lower your cost per install. So look out for that. All right, guys, if you got any questions, just reach out to me, but I will see you next Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Have a great weekend. Bye.